About 2 years ago, I published a pack of modular character sheet assets, a selection of boxes, shapes, and other odds and ends that you can mix and match to make your own TTRPG character sheets. Since then, I've released 3 genre-based expansions, one for fantasy, one for science fiction, and one for horror. In this video, I'll show you some of the process behind making and using my latest expansion. Its theme, nature. Hello everyone! The first step, whenever I'm making any kind of asset pack, is usually to print off some graph paper. Sometimes it's isometric, but in this case it's a regular old square grid. The grid helps me enormously when I need to draw anything symmetrical or that includes straight lines. Now you might be wondering how I get rid of the grid pattern. The squares are printed in a very light blue. When I scan the page and up both the brightness and contrast, they disappear, leaving only my ink lines.
That's one of the many arcane secrets I learned from J.P. Couvert.
You might know this already, but in case you didn't, the very first modular character sheet pack I made was designed specifically for Dungeons and Dragons. I hadn't really played any other systems yet, and my eyes had not yet been opened to the wonders of the larger tabletop role-playing world. It wasn't until a little later that I realized all those boxes and bubbles could be even more useful if they were blank, free of any D&D specific jargon. Thus, my first system-neutral modular character sheet pack was born. With each expansion to the pack, I've tried to not let myself be hindered by function and instead have fun with form. What I mean by this is that while there might not be much call for a severed hand shaped stat box, you can be sure I included one in the horror expansion. There are of course still many sensibly shaped rectangular and square boxes for your various lists of skills, abilities and items. However, I always include a wide range of decorative assets based on the expansion's genre. That's why, for this nature-themed expansion, you've seen me include flower pots and flowers, grass, stones, leaves, mushrooms, fruits and berries, root vegetables, logs and stumps, and vines. Now, with all the assets inked, the next step is scanning each one and turning it into a transparent PNG file. This is usually the lengthiest and most tedious part of the process. However, it's always a great feeling scrolling through all the assets when they're done. Now it's time to put them to use. Here I'm just choosing and placing the various assets from the pack onto a blank A4 sized page to create a brand new character sheet. I decided to make one for Stravagante Gigante since it's the game and system I am most familiar with. Not surprising considering I wrote it. Anyway, I tried out a bunch of different asset combinations, adjusting and resizing whenever necessary. In the end, I had a layout I was happy with, and that included ample space for a character's appearance, their name and pronouns, kin and class, skills, traits, and items. And here is the finished character sheet. To test it, I quickly rolled up a Stravagante Gigante character. Given the nature theme, I went with a gnome. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful in case you want to try out any of my modular character sheet assets yourself. My website is currently being updated, but in the meantime you can find all of the asset packs I mentioned, including this new one, over on my itch.io page. Until next time, bye bye!